This is the number one skill that you want to learn. Selling cheap is probably one of the biggest mistakes of every new business owner. It's not about the money. Probably one of the biggest lies I've heard. Think about it. When you go to the store and try to buy nice clothes, right? It's all about the money, right? When you go and try to, have a nice haircut, try to look nice, try to look good, it's all about the money. When you go out and try to network, try to meet new people in your business, right? End goal is still to make more money. When you go and apply for nice university, try to get a nice degree, it's all about the money. When you go out and try to get a nice girlfriend or wife, in the end of the day, it's all about the money. Think about everyone who starts the business for the first time, they all do the same thing. They think that everyone could be their client, they want to reach everyone, they want to sell to everyone, and they want to sell cheap, right? Why the mindset of every new business owner is the same? Why 90% of these people fail? You know that every single day, 2,500 different businesses file for bankruptcy in the United States. And another 2,000 are started. Before the virus situation, every single year they had over 900,000 businesses simply file for bankruptcy. And in 2025, majority of the businesses which were closing were retail locations. And the number jumped from 2,500 a day to 15,000 a day. This is why selling cheap, and this is why doing business is noob as a brand new business owner. Following the old way of doing business, it's usually not gonna get you successful. It will not differentiate your business or your product. Selling cheap creates this idea that everyone could be your client. But if everyone is your client, you don't really have the actual clientele profile. You want to know exactly niche down who is your client, how much money they're making, where they're living, what kind of brands they're wearing, right? It's like you trying to sell a person who is buying Loro Piana a Zara jacket. Do you understand how ridiculous this will look like? The person will not going to be even interested. Or you're trying to sell a person who only drives a European cars, Mercedes, BMW, Audis. You try to sell this person, let's say, a Honda Civic or Subaru, right? It's simply not gonna get the deal done. This is why you wanna niche down the profile of your clients. Reverse engineering. You're not starting from the business, product or service, or starting with the clients. Who you can actually serve the best, who you know the best. Let's say I work on Wall Street for 6 years. I know Wall Street communities, people, employees, different levels, hierarchy. I know exactly who is wearing what, representing what kind of jewelries, what kind of rings, what kind of watches, what kind of suits. I know absolutely everything, what kind of shoes. Every single item that these people are wearing or possess represents something. So if tomorrow I said, okay, I'm gonna go into the commodity market, I'm gonna build a fashion brand or accessory brand only for men that are working on Wall Street. I know exactly who to target, how to target. I know exactly how much I should charge them. And I know that I should charge them a lot. I'm not gonna charge them cheap. I'm not gonna charge them $100 for a button-down shirt. I'm not gonna charge them $400 or $500 for a suit. Why? Because when they pay more money, they feel that they're getting something unique. This will give them personal satisfaction and will give them more motivation and will make them even more arrogant over the other people on Wall Street because they can have what they own. Understand? The diversification of different pricing, different items, having everything that is specifically, uniquely satisfying a particular person is what makes you different. It's not that you're selling $5 cheaper than somebody else. Because especially during the big national holidays, you can walk through the mall and you can find brands that no one actually cares. I'm not gonna name them. I don't want to downplay their heritage or whatever. But the brands that are over here on the tier list might have 40-50% off. But the big brands that everyone knows and everyone is always want to buy something, but it's always so expensive, they might have 60-70% off, and you might be able to buy the much higher tier brand instead of buying the cheapest, the highest discount at the very moment. It happened to me. I haven't purchased full price or paid full price for absolutely anything, and I only own stuff that I like. I don't buy stuff because it's cheap or it's on deal or it's on sale. I only buy stuff that I first of all need and I like, right? This is why your biggest leverage in the competitive market that is pretty saturated, it's always to first of all niche down, know exactly who is your client, who you're talking to. This will help you to know how to price your items. This will help you to craft and design the product or services. This will help you to create a very effective marketing campaign. You know exactly who to hire to promote your product or service. If you hire some bimbo to promote my jackets and suits to the Wall Street guys, nobody will care. No one take her serious. It's a wild west out there. You're going to hire somebody that looks like Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. You're gonna dress him and you're gonna make him speak like him because he speaks their language, right? You wanna buy something from someone that looks like you, sounds like you, works jobs like yours, makes probably your money, right? It's always actually a little bit better if you can find someone that is the next level. Because if somebody from the next level sells something to the people in the level below, the people will be much more incentivized to buy from him because psychologically they believe that if they look like him, they're gonna be him, right? It's all marketing. Remember, if you watch my other videos, I explained to you why marketing is so important and why marketing is not being taught in schools. Well, because no one gets it, especially the new age marketing has nothing to do with the previous 90s, 2000, everything before virus situation. It's one thing, everything after the virus situation is completely different thing. Like the people who were making tons of money prior, very few of them I've seen actually adapt the new strategies. Most of them completely lost traction. Not to mention people who were running blogs and who were running content pages, generating traffic, running ads. Their traffic completely died out and they still can't figure out why. Because it is very hard when you make passive income for 10-12 years just from AdSense, right? Completely search-based traffic. At some point your search-based traffic goes to zero and you have to figure it out what's changed for the last 12 years. Anyway, that's why I told you, don't fall under the same trap of new business owners trying to sell cheap and try to sell to everyone, because you're not making any sales, because you don't sell to anyone, because you don't know what you're selling to who and how much they're willing to spend. It's a complete mismatch. It's like you're throwing darts at the board. Right? Remember what Gordon Gekko said? He's not throwing darts at the board. He's betting on sure things. And sure things in business and life are rare, but you can make them to the 98th percentile sure by calculating, managing, extracting and analyzing data and going very close to the actual inflection point. The main concept is that 1 + 1 will make 2, which will help you build a generational wealth and help your family, to help you back to build the empire. It's all about money. Every time when I see someone who's trying to convince me on something, who's trying to sell me directly or indirectly on something, on his idea, product or service, and when he's using the leverage, it's not about the money, G. This is the biggest bullshit matter, the biggest red flag that I could see. Because everything is done because of the existence or the exchange of money. People who come over here and fix my internet, right, or install my internet, or build the whole network connection with fiber cables or whatsoever, they're doing it because of the money. Why Elon Musk is building the rockets? Sure, he could have been passionate about going out there in the space exploring, but it's all about the money. If NASA didn't pay him, he's not gonna be running the rockets and he's not gonna be sending astronauts to the space station or whatsoever. It's all about the money. So when we stop talking nonsense and lay out the actual interests from both sides, this is the moment when you can get the closest possible to get both sides what they want, right? Because I don't believe in zero-sum game working long term. Zero-sum game could work in the short term. I can take more advantage of this particular deal. I can benefit more. You can lose some. But this will not work again and again and again. This is now how I am going to become a billionaire. Because believe it or not, you have to help other people. And I'm not altruist. I don't think about other people more than thinking about myself. I don't care more about other people about caring myself. But that's the actual math behind it. If you help more people in any form, they will feel that they have to pay back in some way. They kind of owe you a favor. It's unwritten law or rules. This is how the marketing gurus are scamming you, giving you a free ebook or free seminar or free whatever. Then you're kind of incentivized. You feel guilty. You got something for free. Now I have to buy that shit. So the main concept here is that you really want to help. Not everyone, but you want to help particular people. We're not talking nonsense over here. You want to learn how to work with people who can help you. And when I say helping them, this means sometimes you just need to take the loss. Sometimes you just have to let the bigger pie, the bigger slice of the deal to go to your counterparty. Only when you're very, very sure that the next deal further down the road will be bigger and your share will worth much more, and they will feel guilty. They will feel that they owe you this time to let you get the bigger share. It's all psychological and simple math, of course. Simple math works always. You don't have to go and create a special algorithm. You don't have to deal with some crazy equations. It's trying to balance and trying to take your turn or step back, and you want to make sure that everyone on the table is aware that you make them a favor, right? You let them get the bigger slice this time, but you're not even, right? I remember an old interview with Donald Trump, maybe 1998. He said that during this very tough time for him, when he was trying to, run the casinos and run the airline company, he said that prior to this, he was doing very, very well. He helped a lot of people. And during these times when it was rough for him, he was, needing some support. And none of these people show up, which meant that he helped the wrong people, right? That's what I was trying to explain earlier. He let other people to take advantage when he was powerful and successful, and when his businesses were doing very well, he let them take the bigger slice. But these people were not aware that they owe him back the favor. Or they were aware, but they played dumb. This is why you want to make sure that everything is, like I said, on the table. Everyone on the table understands what are the rules, what are the terms, who is first, who is last, and when is the actual payback period. It's a time value of money. $1 today worth much more than $1 tomorrow. You have time value of money. Just Google it, read about it, learn. I'm not going to give you a lesson about time value. But you need to understand that if you have the right counterparties, if you work with the right people, if you are on the similar intellectual level, they understand the concept of reciprocity, right? You get what you give, and further down the line, you may be able to get rewarded more for what you give, in a way in which your return on the invested time, effort, or probably sometimes you decided to take a loss, it's much greater, the overall return. This is why I said that zero-sum game will not work for people who want to become a billionaires. Zero-sum game works for the small scams or schemes, people who try to make a couple $100,000, try to make $5 to $10 million. This is why all these crypto schemes, crypto scam coins, all these fake communities, everything runs to a certain number. Remember, pay very close attention. Just look at them. All of them run to a certain number, around $10 million, and everything crumble. Why? Because the economy of scale stops working in favor of the creators when the scheme hits certain limitations. Because when you hit the $10 million, to grow exponentially to 50 or 100 million, you need to attract bigger fishes, people with more money. And people with more money are not dumb. It's people with $500, $600, $10,000, $1,000 who invested, who got tricked into buying the coins or buying the scheme. So the larger the sum of money as investment you need to roll over, right? The smarter people are actually coming in. And these people are doing due diligence. These people have teams to evaluate products. This is why I said that when you try to network or try to establish partnerships, you want to make sure you have the similar IQ level in the table. You don't want to have people who pretend to be smart, think they're smart, but they're actually very dumb and try to play the short-term game, trying to scam you over, try to essentially take advantage of you, the people who didn't return the favor of Trump, right? So this is why you want to make sure that you really understand the people who you're facing in business level. You want to understand their capabilities, not only financial, we're talking about intellectual involvement, how much they were really involved in building their businesses. Did they simply bought out the business from some genius and now they pretend to be the business mind behind it? Or they really were the founder? They were there in the first early days, like the Jensen 1. It was the first days of NVIDIA. 3 guys started NVIDIA. If you don't know the story, they were passionate about video games. The video games back then were one-dimensional, and they said, how cool would it be if the games are 3-dimensional, and they built the special chips that allowed the game to actually render in 3D. Unfortunately, the world has turned out to be like a bar. You know how in the bar you need to take the attention of the bartender to serve you, right? You need to learn how to take attention. If you don't know how to get attention, you're not going to be able to get clients for your business. Complete professional success depends on attention, because we live in an attention economy. And on the personal side, things are completely matching. It's the same experience. It is very hard to get attention as an individual, to find a partner, find a girl, find a wife. You need to learn somehow to start getting attention. You do understand that you're actually making Wall Street every single day rich, right? You do understand that if the individual investor is not on the market directly or indirectly through the pension funds, Wall Street, to be able to make money, has to trade against Wall Street. And when you put all the smart guys in one room, no one will bet anything, because they all know the game. Whoever speaks first, whoever acts first, loses. Some people get attention by being crazy. Other people get attention by being creative. You know, they throw a bucket of painting and they start moving the colors. They're very creative. They dress colorful. They have some skill. You need to find a way get attention. Other people play dumb. They go on the streets, they make jokes, they make sketches, whatsoever. Everyone, in some way, found a path where they're gonna attract attention, which later they monetize. And when I speak about monetization, I'm not only speaking about finances. Monetizing the attention could be in a favorable way in your personal life, right? Let's say, as a man, you understand that everything is a numbers game, right? The more women you met, the greater chance to meet the right one, right? Where for the women, the equation works against them. The more men they met actually works against their interests and their image. So you need to understand what game you're trying to win, what are the rules in this game, and how you can apply your personal character. I'm not talking to you to be fake. I'm not talking to you to be somebody or trying to be somebody that you're not, because you're gonna lose this game. You see this every single day. So many people are so obviously fake. And they're fake and they copy other people. They are ingenuine and they lose the game. They fail and they disappear from the social media or from the public scene. This is what You have to break down the process into small steps that you understand. You compact the process with genuine moves, exactly who you are and what works for you, for your own goals, and then you get things accomplished. This is why you see very, very successful people are speaking about success, that everything somehow happened very easy for them. Somehow they became very successful. They're very happy. One business, second business, third business, serial entrepreneurs, and everyone wonders, I can't even build a single business. This guy or these people have built multiple. Why? Because they were genuine to themselves. Look at Elon Musk. He could have, buy 17 islands in the Bahamas when he sold the PayPal to eBay, not bothering about building electric vehicle cars or space or Neuralink or the underground tunnels, but he was genuine to himself. Okay? He was genuinely interested in all these weird technologies that didn't exist. This is why he's so successful. I bet you now understand that you need to follow your passion. Stupid cliche, but this gives you unfair advantage because you can proceed following something that you like and enjoy much longer than following something that you don't, right? So many people know that the people on Wall Street are making the most money, but everyone knows that the job sucks. Everyone knows that it's very stressful. These people actual life is miserable, right? Their colleagues are fake. The job is kind of dissatisfying. It's kind of artificially processed, right? You don't really feel that you create value. You just feel that you process information online and you extract value from this information before everyone else on the market. You make tons of money, but I guarantee you these people do not feel fulfilled at the end of the day. Everyone knows that these people make money, and again, smart people say, it's not for me. Smart people. Everyone knows the truth, but the smart people say, this is not my genuine character. This is not really who I am, right? This is why the really, really successful people, they make their life very easy. It's very, very easy. Like if you have fun, I watched Jake Paul a couple of weeks ago, short interview. You can say whatever you want for him. The guy made tons of money. And he made tons of money by having fun. Playing dumb, stupid sketches, stupid videos, skits, boxing. He basically made his own life very easy because everything that he did was something that he liked doing. He liked making jokes. He liked making feel stupid. The stupid guy on the video or the stupidest guy in the room. He didn't care. And this is probably the two levels that actually send him in completely different level. Even Andrew Tate doesn't make fun of him anymore. He said, I respect Jake Paul, I respect this, I respect that. Again, you can even learn from Jake Paul, regardless of what people say. He didn't care what people said. Number one reason for success. If he was listening, paying attention, what the media, what this, what that, he wouldn't be where he is right now. Second thing, his brother was more successful than him, and he was able to escape from his shadow. Again, it takes a character to build a character. And now you can bet he's more famous than his brother. This again proves the point that you can start from zero and build some profile that is very successful and fulfilling, as long as you make your life easy. How you make your life easy? By being genuine. I like to do this, and this. If there's an opportunity where I can actually work in these niches, I will put all of my time, all of my energy, and I will provide as much as information or value or quality if I sell products or services, because I really don't mind. Same thing Steve Jobs. he enjoyed doing the marketing. Simple layout, simple packaging, very clean design, big picture, less words. Remember when they released the first MacBook, it was just one envelope, and it was the MacBook halfway through, and it says the world's thinnest MacBook. Remember, there is no interest, there is no intrinsic interest for these other people that you don't know to help you make money. There is no interest for them to share with you what is good or bad investment. There is no interest for these other people to actually share with you what they're doing, what they're buying, what they're selling, what they're holding. They don't earn anything by letting you in. And remember, if you watch the Wall Street movie part 1, Gordon Gekko said you're either in or you're out. There is no middle position. So if you're not on Wall Street within the general source of information, you're outside. Meaning everything that you will hear, CNBC, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, even if you have Bloomberg terminal, you think that you have a prime source of information that is actually real-time available and will help you to do something that no one else will be able to take advantage at the very moment? No. The main idea, I don't want to use specific terms, but every single trade requires exit liquidity, requires a particular amount of funds to be put on the market on the buy side, so all the Wall Street will be able to sell. If there is no buyers and sellers on the market, then you have these people that you see on Wall Street walking around, the market makers with the small tablets, right? They're making the market. Their job is to buy on the market when no one wants to buy. There's a crash, they have to build liquidity. And their job is to sell when no one else wants to sell. Because the stocks are going higher, people are greedy, they don't want to sell. But there are other people on the other side who want to buy at the very moment. But if there is no liquidity, if there are no shares, you cannot buy. Understand? So to go back to the original example, that Wall Street needs you to be on the market, active, regardless, managing your own portfolio, picking stocks, or investing through your retirement account, through your probably pension fund. The main idea is that you simply cannot rely on the information that is provided for single security, for overall industry or niche, because you are always behind. And on the financial markets, information is absolutely everything. Information is more important than capital. This is what a lot of people think. A lot of people say and believe that you need money to make money. No, you need information to make money. Because if you have the right information and if you're sure about this information, people can go and get a loan. You can go and get a personal loan, not a financial advice. If you're 100% sure that something it is going to happen. But if you flip the scenario where people say you need money to make money, yes, you might have capital, you might work for 5 years, saved up some money, but if you don't have the information, you're still one of many on the market, helping Wall Street to get richer and richer. And remember, Wall Street is not only making money actively or proactively trading against you or bringing you on the market. Wall Street also makes money on the actual infrastructure where there are small fees here and there. You may be using your investment bank, or you might be using the brokerage that is attached or created or managed by your bank. And there are small fees associated with this, right? So they're always passive way of Wall Street profiting from you. And remember, for people who are not so sophisticated or really interested to study the markets, they buy a basket of stocks, they buy the ETFs, they buy S&P 500 for the US market, and they buy separate ETFs for the Chinese tech market. You want to get the full exposure. And each one of these are actually very, very interesting and pretty diversified options, but each one comes with different expense ratio. How much this particular ETF charges you to manage your portfolio. And if you look at the American most famous ETFs that track and match the performance of S&P 500, you will see a very little 0.2, 0.3, 0.4%. When you look at the ETFs that are linked to the Chinese tracking technology sector, you will see expense ratio of 0.28, 0.30, 0.40%. And this all adds up. Because if for 2025, a lot of these Chinese ETFs outperform, let's say the VTO or VOO, right, the American markets, the Vanguard ETFs, comparison is between 15% on VOO or VTO, the American stock market S&P tracking ETFs, versus 30% for the Chinese tech sector. Sure, the market is much smaller, the velocity of money is greater, the government in China also pumps much more money into the economy. But having all this information, you can really make a much better decision. Sure, let's say 1 year, your cost expense for being an owner of this ETF will be around $200, $280 on the Chinese ETF. But if this particular ETF return you double the money of the American one, it's only $20, $25, $26. But if the return is double, let's say you put 100,000 on the Vanguard ETFs, you made 15%, you made $15,000. You made 15% on the 100K, it's $15,000. Same $100,000 on the Chinese could be 28, be $30,000. Sure, you paid greater fee, $200+ per year for expense ratio, but you definitely get a greater return. And this is not the rule of thumb, right? This is just numbers for the last year, the current expense ratios, and this is how some people really, they just focus on their professions and they're not interested in the financial markets. They don't really care about what are the news, they don't really care about what new industries going up or down, what new partnerships are building between IBM, AMD, OpenAI, NVIDIA, Tesla, right? They don't really follow up with all these. This is why I want to explain to you that I want you to be very cautious with all the information that is coming right in front of you, trying to encourage you to do something, to look into precious metals, particular stocks, niches, industries. They have come so far that sometimes, even here on YouTube, you will see the CEOs of particular companies are saying to you, hey, I'm the CEO of this energy company or this company or that company, and they're looking for investors, right? This is how far have come to look for something like this. So be very careful and cautious, and do not ever put more than 10% trust in anything that you see on the financial media.